Hey everyone! Remember Steve? Well, he had to go to Europe for no explainable reason. He showed up for a minute and then he left just as quickly.
There was a reason.
Yeah.
Not a very good reason, but there's a reason.
Yeah. Yep. And yes, yesterday we did have a pink full moon, so I'm sporting my Sailor Moon shirt because, gotta represent the astronomical phenomena. But speaking of moons and shadows, we are here to discuss Kamen Rider, the original episodes 40 through 45. That's right. Once we're done here, we'll only have 7 episodes left before the mid-season. Ooh.
Typically around this time, we would be at the end game of most seasons. Some seasons we would already be done at this point.
Yeah.
But no, we have barely made it to the halfway point. We are barely there.
Almost at the halfway point.
Yeah. So regardless, we are still doing this. We're still going.
We're still going. Yeah. Hopefully we'll finish Ichigo by July. Maybe. Who knows?
As long as there's no interruptions by snowmen or by random condors.
Yeah, they look like armadillos.
Yeah. Other than that, how is everybody today? How is everyone?
Did you enjoy the full moon?
Did you guys watch that new Devil May Cry?
I saw the first episode. I was strenuously busy this week, but it was interesting that Johnny's now the voice of Dante because he's always been Nero.
I am gonna grill him next time I see him because he did mention something about it, but he didn't really say because I'm like, yeah, well, whatever. But at the same time, God, what was it? Again, most people ask me, do I need to watch or do I need to play the games for me to get what this is about?
Not really.
And no, not really. You don't have to. It's a mixture of all 3 games. It's literally a mix. Because
and more importantly, it's its own unique continuity. So
yeah. Well, there's also a mixture of the manga that came out years ago for Devil May. I think it was just Devil May Cry. I think it was for 3. Because there was an Alice in Wonderland type theming in that.
Yeah, but to be fair, a lot of these shows are catered in such a way to assume that certain audience members just never played.
No. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I mean, a lot of people does it follow? No. But I'll tell you this right now. You unless you're a hardcore, diehard Devil May Cry player, you really it doesn't need to be understood or played for you to get the story because it pretty much tells you. And even Johnny already confirmed with me that there is another season coming out soon.
Mm-hmm. Netflix themselves already confirmed that.
Yeah.
Too.
So the thing is that I know because I played everything, and I'm like, wow. That's what you guys did. That's what you guys have been. So you think you're doing a good job, but in actuality, you're not. So, I mean, again, I recommend it. If you want to support Johnny Bosch and any type of edgy edgelord type stuff from the 2000s. I did skip the intro, though. This is one show that I really did skip the intro because I'm not a fan of Fred Durst or Limp Bizkit. I'm not a fan. So, yeah, I mean, I skipped it. I was like, oh, hell no. Fuck this song. I do not like it. But I'm like, yeah, and everything else is fine. Everything else is fine. The intro could be different, but everything else is fine. Yeah, no, but we're here to talk about a Kamen Rider or two Kamen Riders for the most part.
Yeah, like it was such a big tease. Like when we watched like the preview for the next episode, it's like, Mari is gone inexplicably, but Takashi Hongo will be back, and then both riders will team up. Aren't you excited? Aren't you excited?
You would think, and we were. I would imagine if you watched this back in the day, you were excited that, hey, Takashi Hongo is coming back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I mean, again, I believe at this point Hongo had been released for the hospital for a while, and so he was just trying to recover enough. Because when you look at him, he does look a little bit like he's just been out of it for a while.
Yeah, he's probably still in physical therapy.
He's probably still in rehabilitation at this point because just seeing him in these episodes doing what he was doing, it did look like he was struggling a little bit. If you notice the fights that go on, they're a little bit more stiff than it originally was. So I was like, yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I mean, he did have a pretty gnarly crash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all the way back in episode 9.
So if you do the timeline, he was probably gone for at least 3 or 4 months. So
half a year, if you think about it, because we're at episode 40, so we're looking at 30 or so weeks. So yeah, like 30 weeks. That's more than half a year.
Yeah, he's been out of it for a while, so it's like he's still recovering. He might have been discharged, but he is still recovering. So he will be back though. That is totally for sure. That is 100% legitimately for sure, because after a while you're going to be asking yourself, where's Ichimonji?
Yeah, because like he's barely in the show even during his main run, and most of it is him like trying to avoid the spotlight as much as possible, because it's like, because Hiroshi's my best friend and I don't want to steal his role from him.
Yeah, no, I get that. And I actually read an interview from the old man himself. I think it was dated 2015, 16 when no, I'm sorry. It was actually around the time that Forze was around. So that 2011, 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And they talked about that. They were like, you are the Kamen Rider. You are, it's like he just designates himself as the second rider. But like, if I was in Heisei, I would be the second rider. And he said, well, the interviewer asked him, you could have kept going. You could have been like, yeah, but just as we've stated, him and Sagata-sama are just really good friends. And he was like, I did it for him. I did it to continue on, his work, his stuff, and blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. And so when he finally was at 100%, is like, but no send off, no nothing. Like, well, there was plans to do it, but I didn't want them just to stop and make something special. Just like, no. This is his show, so I'm gonna, gently, say goodbye, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't deny the man and what he did for Fujioka-sama. He respects his friendship, and they still be friends to this day.
Yeah.
There's even
it's crazy seeing like all of the first 3 riders still alive, like sitting next to each other.
Like, remember, like what was it, like a couple weeks ago? They had the Goal Rangers, all together, and that kind of just made it. A lot of people said that just made it so real for them that, like, oh my god. It's like time is moving, time is going. I'm like,
even the second Key Ranger, because I assume the first one passed away by now.
The first Key Ranger sadly was battling depression before it was a thing about mental health and stuff like that. So sadly, he did pass away I think Akared's actor, he was involved with discovering him. The second key, of course, obviously he's in a wheelchair now. He's
in a wheelchair, yeah.
They are old. They are old, but they still keep it going. And it's also, someone was saying the other day, it's like, it's kind of crazy how like, but we still have like Ryota and Yuki that are doing cons and Furuhara and all that are like, yeah, but think about it. They were like in their early 20s. They were just kids when they did this show. Now, like they're like almost around my age.
Yeah, they're 50 years older, so they're like in their 70s.
Yeah, so it's like you look at like Gokaiger that came out in 2010, and you look at now, it's like, bro, at least 15 years have gone by. So
yeah, like Ryota and Kyoko, they still look young, but that's because
no, I know,
because
but it's kind of like someone was telling me, like my Sentai wife, Jasmine from SPD. I'm like, bro, she's still I would still put a ring on her. Like, it doesn't matter. It's also kind of like even the same thing with Nanami from Hurricaneer. It's like, no, I see it, I notice it, but damn, does she still not look good?
Yeah, look at but because they're able to stay looking young, that you don't realize that, oh snap, 15 years have passed.
No, there are some. Like like when you see
little bit, like you have to,
when you see like little kid characters, like what was her face from Geki Ranger, the little girl that was that was in Akiba Ranger season 2. It's like, no, yeah, that's her. I'm like, no.
Yeah, she came back in Kira Major.
Yeah. It's also like who was it? The biggest one I think was I think in Time Ranger it was either green or yellow. Like had a kid in the show.
Yellow.
And then they actually went and got the actress and the little baby from that episode and brought them back. And it's like, what? Like,
the little girl from Kamen Rider Blade came back for Kamen Rider Geo, reprising her role.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because like in the summer film, they just got a different actress to play like a teenage version of her because there was like a 5-year time skip in the movie.
Yeah, no. I get that. But again, it's kind of like when you see like, again, that's why I always say I love seeing past actors and actresses from certain shows come back, even if it's not in the same series, just like, hey, and just be like, well, dude, no way. Yeah, that is so and so. It's like they look so different. I'm like, they look the same, but it's like, yeah, I know. But again, we just don't see it. We just don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I mean, you can tell SPD Deca Ranger was back in what, 2004, 2003?
2004.
And I'm like, I still see my wife. I still see her, and I'm like, oh my god, it has not stopped. I look at even my rider wife Shizuka, and it's like, yeah, she has not changed, not once. So I don't see it. Some people do, but I don't. I'm like, no, still looks the same, just better. But yeah, seeing the riders now still around again, let us appreciate them now more than ever, because that's going to be one hell of a Twitter day for the Toko community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And part of me wonders if they're actually going to make a Go Ranger movie, because like they have like the actual suits come back and like they're like slightly stiffer but still standing tall.
You mean like would they officially get a robot? You mean like kind of like let us build a Sentai mech for the Go Rangers?
I mean, I don't know about that, but like give them like an actual 50th anniversary movie or something. I mean, but what I'm thinking is like it's like for Key Ranger, like he's probably gonna have like prosthetic braces, like kind of like Batman from Dark
No,
Knight
no. I mean,
Rises.
that's understandable. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's like if an older, remember the late, the late Peter Cushing or no, Peter Mayhew with
Yeah.
Chewbacca. He had I met him, and before they did the movie, he was going through leg surgery
Yeah.
because apparently he had a little condition and he did it just to reprise his role again. So it wouldn't be too crazy to just say like, yeah, no, he's well, but yeah, no, that would be totally cool to have a Gold Ranger movie, something about that, because I'm like, well, we did Gokaiger, we've done Gokaiger, we've done SPD. SPD's gotten 2.
Way too many.
Hurricaneger, I think, only had
Not a lot.
well, Hurricaneger only had 1, I think.
No, they had a 10 years later and a 20 years later.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah, remember the 10 years later had the black suit, and the 20 years later had
the
the Kabuki one, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Well, yeah, no. I mean, it would be totally cool if they did do a Ranger one. I don't know about Jacka because, well, I mean, I think Heart Queen is very hard to track down.
Yeah, I'll say this though: when Geo was on TV, I'm surprised they didn't do a 20th anniversary movie for Kamen Rider Kuga, because I would have loved there to be like a 20th anniversary movie called Episode 50, because in the, I think it was a hyper battle video or just in the very last episode altogether, there was like this joke where there was a script that said Episode 50.
Yeah. No, I did hear about that with Kuga.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't we? Like, Agito and Kuga, like, I mean, what Fize is the only one from like that era that's getting the love and the movies that don't really make sense or have any add anything to the main story.
Yeah.
What they're just.
I mean, Ryuki had sort of like a alternate timeline thing.
Yeah, but like, I mean,
that was like 3 episodes.
It's kind of like if they were to do like for Kabuto or for Kiba, I'm like, well, that would be cool. Like, you could pick up where like they fit, like they left off. Now Wataru's son. I mean, fuck. Kyohei Takeda hasn't aged a fucking day. Imagine getting Kyohei Takeda back to being Wataru's son again.
I was gonna say like let's see, like 2000. Let's use the conservative number, 2008 plus 22. That's gonna be 2030. So like 5 years from now,
yeah,
they need to do. Yeah, 5 years from now, we need to have like a Kiva movie where Kyohei Takeda plays freaking Wataru's son with Kiva the fourth.
No, they got to do it. They have to do it. They have to. They have to do it. They have to. Because like, what made you come back? What incident forced you besides the Neo Fangar? Of course you fought them, but who are you fighting that brought you here? Okay, yeah, we're ranting now. I know. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
also one more freaking there was that one dude from Kamen Rider O's. Not Poseidon, but the other dude.
Aqua.
Yeah.
Aqua,
like he's also from the future. Michael Minato. So like,
they never said when though. But I'm like,
I mean,
you guys could.
And it's from 2051, because I remember it was supposed to be like, for the 40th anniversary, we're gonna get a rider who's even 40 more years from the future. So in 2051, we better get a Kamen Rider Ocean movie.
Beesh. Okay. Yeah. All right. So We're diving in here. And again, the reason why we talked about the past writers is because not a lot really happened in these episodes. I know that Hongo came back. That is a thing, but it's kind of disappointing in a way.
I would say the second half of it is more disappointing than the first.
No, that's what I mean. It's
because
like
the first half is like hypes it up, right? And like
we think he's back. It's like, yeah, he's back, and then it's just like, wait, what? Yeah,
but it gets weirder from there because
yeah. Well, we're gonna get into it right now.
Yeah.
So apparently, we are not in the Nihong today. We are up enjoying a nice cup of cocoa in the Alps.
Yeah, in Switzerland, because apparently, while we still have no idea what happened to Yuriko from the first 13 episodes of the show.
Happened?
Yeah, but apparently Takashi picked up these two new girls named Eri and
Emmy and Mika. Yeah.
And believe me, Mika will be less memorable for all the wrong reasons.
I'm like, okay, Hongo, I know you're a stud. I know that, and I'm very well aware. But what the actual... what happened to Ruriko? What happened?
What happened?
What? Did she leave you a Dear John letter telling you that she met someone else?
At that she went through games?
Did like that she went through hell and hell's fire to get you back, only to meet some guy, some random jerk, and for us to hate them for like 23 years until Takashi Hongo says on an IG interview that he forgives her, but we don't? Yeah, I've still not gotten over that. I don't give a shit. Well, you can defend Kimberly Hart and all that, and I know it's the writer's fault, but what the actual F was that? That's why I say, you know what?
Yeah,
Tommy, I don't like you too much, Tommy, but you know what? Kat is a way better than what Kimberly did. Okay, yeah. Kimberly.
And while I appreciate Kat for everything she did, I will also say that he did what's her name dirty. What's her name? That ski instructor girl from VR Troopers.
Heather. I don't know, but then again, that's why I'm like, Tommy's not a great character. I don't give a shit. Yeah, but I'm like at that point, I do sympathize with him.
In VR Troopers. Like she was like a ski instructor, and like it's like, oh yeah, Tommy, Kat, and Billy are going to like Big Bear Lake to forget about Kim for a while, and then like he basically seduces Heather, and like, which is weird because she's like probably in her 20s. He's still like barely 18. Like if we're like gonna be like very lenient like we are with Kamen Rider Gaim. With Baron and Malika, it's like bro just like grizzed up like a competitive skier, and like he's like flaking on her repeatedly. It's like, oh, what was me? And then, and then Kat goes on a pity date and they hit it off.
Again, it's I don't know who the writers and whatnot for that show. Yeah, no, I'm like fine, but I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Could you have not given a better explanation? But no, I mean, it's even in the show. It's like, oh, well, how come you're not as mad as with Kat or like with Kim, with Tommy, instead of Hongo and Ryuko? I'm like, that is because we totally, to be quite honest, like be honest with me, folks. Did we even remember that the Kamen Rider had like a female character in the show in the very first 10 episodes? Barely. Not really. We remember. Everyone remembers Mari, Michi, and Yuri.
Yeah.
And we mourned losing Mari.
Yeah. No, Michi like, not Ruriko, so much. Shiro not so much.
Ruriko was just like, oh, she was just there. But then we get these two, which I'm like, we took 3 huge steps forward just to take 3 back.
Yeah.
because I appreciated the girls for who they were and what they did. This is, yeah.
Yeah, so I have to say, this, like, freaking with even with Michi, who's dropped off, like by episode 25. At least with these three girls being introduced, like, we understand how they ended up part of the team. It's like Tachibana just wanted to have a race club. It's a completely civilian thing that he's doing by himself on the side, and these three girls just happen to want to participate, even though they have no experience in that. Well, Michi kind of has experience with the 25cc, but that's a second point. But then it's like, but it just so happens they do have fighting skills. So like when they unintentionally get entangled into the whole shocker thing, they use their existing skills to prove that, yeah, they belong on the team. They earned the name the Rider Girls. Not to be confused with the AKB48 group.
No, I think that's where they got the idea for the girls. I think, like, you know, they're just like, again, despite what, I mean, it was a marketing ploy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a marketing ploy for, you know, the, like, you know, be as it may, but I'm like, yeah, you know what? These girls are actually kicking ass.
Mm-hmm.
And we do respect them. But for, you know, again, we did say Miss Yamato did have a better opportunity. So God bless her. Everyone else, well, it all falls onto Yuri's hands now.
Yeah. It's
but
like she barely did much, but at least she has background.
No, these two. Who
are you?
Yeah, who are you? But then again, I kind of feel like, yeah, I don't think what they were doing or like it hit at the time, you know. Mm-hmm. Because I'm like, wow, we went from girls that were capable of kicking ass and fighting the shocker grunts to now having the having the damsel in distress again, which, you know, okay, fine. But yeah, we are in the Alps, and apparently in the Alps, a Kamen Rider is fighting against a modified cyborg Yeti.
Yeah. And it's like, you think that the whole, like the only thing we know about these two girls, like in the first 10 minutes of the episode, is that Mika does fortune telling with these giant playing cards. Not even tarot cards, playing cards. And you think that's going to go somewhere, but it really doesn't.
Yeah, no, I'm like, well, that was oh god, see, this is, I don't even know her name.
Emmy or Mika?
No, it wasn't. Is it Emmy?
Emmy is the half Australian one.
No. I'm talking about the tarot cards, about the fortune
that's
telling.
Mika.
Yeah, Mika. Okay, yeah, no, that's noticeable. And she even uses that to fight against the court. But afterwards, it's yeah. But apparently there is the rider is here, and it's none other than our boy Takashi Hongo.
Yeah, and look at him sporting his classic suit with the dark green with no stripes.
Yeah.
So we could tell him apart. Let's be honest.
Although I want to know, so when he fought the Iceman or the Snowman, I'm sorry, and he got thrown off the Alps and blew up, it's like, nope, he just walks off like he's like fresh off of a photo shoot.
Yeah.
Like not even a scratch.
Yeah, it's also funny that he's wearing like freaking street joggers on the Alps.
In the Alps. He's not even
joggers, they're loafers.
Yeah, he's not on some paved road. He's on top of the Alps. You know how cold it is up there?
Absolutely. And like, yeah, you could say, hey, well, he's a cyborg, so he doesn't feel the cold, but it doesn't change the fact that like impractical footwear is still impractical.
Yeah, no, I mean, Fine. So okay, but what's the excuse for the girls then? You know,
It's like, they're wearing sweaters at least.
a little thin sweater, but not like, not like big coats or anything like that. Especially since the side of the mountain, which is a volcano, and yes, there are volcanoes in the Alps, just erupted and blew up the lodgings of which everyone was at. Like, oh my god, this turned dark hella quick.
Yeah, and yes, the perpetrator of this is probably a much more iconic villain compared to Colonel Zoll.
Oh yeah, we have a Nazi Dracula.
Yeah, more specifically, we got we have a, for some reason, Russian Nazi scientist. Don't ask me how that works, but
we had a
yeah.
We had a Nazi werewolf, and now we have a Nazi vampire.
Yeah.
What next? Nazi Frankenstein? I wouldn't put it past us if we did.
Yeah.
Also, the actor. Look up the actor's name, because this guy again is another part of tokusatsu history. This guy, I forget his name, but he was also in that movie King Kong Escapes. He was the guy who played the villain in the movie called Doctor Who. So we have the Doctor as the villain in this, I guess, third go around of this series.
Yep. Yeah. He also played Sahara Shogun in Jaka Dengeki Tai versus Go Ranger.
Yep. He's again just like all the old actors here, just like oh my god, Tachibana Sensei. He is known because he's been in many Toko projects. So when I saw his face, I was like, oh my god, that's Doctor Who. Yep. Not the Doctor, but I mean it's a Doctor.
Named Who.
Yeah, who? Yeah, who? No, literally.
Hey, look remember, it up. Remember Dynaman? In the secret laboratory / daycare center of Doctor Who.
Yeah, no, there's again. That's like we should be playing like the Tom Baker intro every time this guy is like comes on the air.
Yeah, someone actually made a fan-made 70s tokusatsu version of Doctor Who, where like he has like a white suit and then he transforms by jumping in the air. He gets like a black suit and it's like Doctor Who.
I don't know if they did that movie before The Rider. I don't recall. Maybe it was after, but yes, this is a prolific stage actor in Japan who is, again, he's kind of up there in cinema, like kind of at the not so much, but I guess he's noticeable just like Boris Karloff or Lugosi. He's one of those actors that you're like, you remember from stage and film and even on TV. But he's played a lot of villains, though.
Yeah.
But yes, he created
Ivan Takalovich.
Yes.
Is a Russian Nazi. Good luck explaining that one. Who, well, at least he doesn't brag as much as Colonel Zoll about being a proud OG Nazi, but hey, at least he's legitimately menacing.
There's some people who just take it a little bit too far with their involvement with the Reich, and I'm like, I think let's pull it back. Let's pull it back a bit.
Yeah, like the major from Helsing. He's like Achtung, Achtung, hey, Achtung. That's what I'm saying.
Well, no, that's the thing. Even in Helsing, it's like, we see it, but it's not as overpowering as what Soul was doing,
Mm-hmm.
But apparently they created a cyborg Yeti monster, because they even said that they augmented a Yeti. So you're telling me the Yetis were real?
Hey, I mean, they augmented a fossil, so
They augmented a mummy.
yeah.
Is it so crazy?
I wouldn't be surprised if they eventually augment an alien.
Well, you know what? Well, it wouldn't be crazy if they did. This was the Showa era in the 70s. So
Yeah, so Takashi he demorphs after the fight, and he just like walks it off like all stokely, and then there's like, "Hey, kids, remember this guy? Well, he was the original Kamen Rider."
yeah, I loved how the narrator just kind of was like, "Do you remember him?" Of course we remember him. But again, kids were watching this show about a superhero fighting Nazis. Well, yeah. Kind of
Yeah.
crazy this wouldn't fly in today's
So
market.
again, I want to ask the vital question: we understand how Tachibana, not Hayato, not Taki, Tachibana picked up Michi, Mari, and Yuri, but what brought Takashi to pick up these two girls?
Also,
Because they
what
do
made
frame
Tachi,
it as though like, oh yeah, no, like in the last couple of 6 months, these two girls were helping Takashi fight Shocker. I'm like, how?
well, they were doing something as opposed to kind of questioning why Tachibana Sensei said, "Oh yeah, we'll take these two with us." Like, why?
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 Why? And
Because we lost. Because we
what's
lost
funny
two
is
girls. We need to get them placed.
and what's funny is that if they just kept Michi and Mari, we would have had 5 girls. Like we would have had a whole female Sentai for the Tachibana Race Club. Like that could have totally spun up into like a live action Sailor Moon before Sailor Moon would have been a thing.
We would have had a Senshi. We would have had like a Kamen Rider Senshi.
Yeah,
but that wouldn't happen until I don't think it's well. No, we wouldn't. No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't get a group of Rider girls until like what? So,
until W or O's.
Well, no. Remember there was that clip of like from 01 and from Revise that they came together with.
Yeah, that's from that was a TTFC thing.
Yeah. But I'm like, we wouldn't get like a group like of like superhero women that were Kamen Riders until like way later. Officially, we don't have like a group of them. I don't think in an official series.
Yeah, at most we got Nico and Poppy doing like a girl power thing with just like 2 girls, like you would get in a season of Super Sentai. But like,
we get maybe 1 or 2 at most.
Yeah,
but to have like an entire like season of females, I'm like, would it be crazy to have a female led rider? I'm like, no, wouldn't be crazy. But it's just I would. Again, I'd be for it. I'd be cool with it, but again, it's not up to me.
It's like it wasn't until 01 that we got a female tertiary writer, and it wasn't until God, I hate that season for us to get a female second writer.
Yeah.
And honestly, given how boring Ichinose is, like Heike Rine should have been the main writer.
No, I know. But yeah, so for some reason, the Swiss branch of Shocker is now sent over to Japan to try to blow up the island.
Yeah, because like it's like Dr. Shinigami like understands like, oh yeah, Japan's part of the Ring of Fire, so we have a whole chain of volcanoes. Let's set off some of these volcanoes in order to destroy Japan. Bam, bam, bam.
That is possibly the most diabolical thing they've done all season.
We are a secret club because of our agenda.
Yeah.
No, I know. Like, this is possibly the most diabolical thing that they have, like, at least planned on doing. Because, yeah, if people don't know, Japan, not so far off the coast of Japan, there is a four-way intersection of fault lines. So the BS is that, like, yeah, again, that's why they get hit with earthquakes or tsunamis and things like that. So yeah, no, this is possibly the worst thing that they could possibly do is just, yeah, we're gonna blow up this island that's close to the fault line, and then that's gonna cause a chain reaction that literally will split the country in half, and then we can rebuild it. But then also that could possibly start a chain reaction all around the world, which would destroy every single country without them noticing what happened.
Which almost happened in 2011.
Yeah,
in real life.
Yeah, so I'm like, this is possibly the worst thing that they have ever done or will do. Yeah. Where were these guys in the beginning of the series?
And again, episode 14, we had a cactus guy who blew up a dam and somehow that destroyed Mexico's entire economy.
Yeah. So
why couldn't that cactus guy like set off volcanoes?
I guess he did. I'm guessing he just didn't like think about it. You know.
I think I stand by what I said last week. Like somehow going to Japan makes Shocker stupid. Like whenever they're outside of Japan, somehow they're the most competent terrorist organization there is. Like they crippled Mexico, they crippled South America, they crippled Switzerland. They could cripple Africa if they want to, the Middle East. But like the moment these highly competent former Nazi, current present day cyborg terrorists go to Japan, suddenly all their plans are either obscenely stupid or they just fail outright for the dumbest of reasons.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm like, because again, this is a very, very good plan that the Doctor is seriously setting up. Mm-hmm. You know, this is just, wow. That could honestly be the worst thing you guys have possibly ever thought up of. But let's see if you'll execute it. At least get it started, because it's one thing to say, it's another that you're going to do it.
Yeah. So Takashi has like these schematics of like Shocker's evil plan, and he has Emmy and Mika go ahead of him onto a boat to meet with Tachibana and Taki. Again, it's like you only share 3 episodes with Taki, so like I'm surprised you're trusting him as much as you're trusting Tachibana, because at least Tachibana, you presumably knew him for years. And it so happens that Taki, Tachibana, Yuri, and Goro are all... And also, thank goodness that Yuri's the last one to leave out of the 3 girls, because since Goro's her brother, can you imagine if she left instead of Mari? It's like, oh yeah, it's like this little kid's here without a sister for like a really long time.
He would just fall under the category of like kids in Ultraman, like they just randomly are part of the SSSP.
Yeah, so but see, at least that one kid from in the SSSP, at least he's Fuji's actual younger brother, and then he becomes an official member. See, I actually watched the show and reviewed it.
Yeah, well, yeah. For some reason, they just like
everyone's on a boat. There's even a comic relief scene where Yuri and Goro like try to go into a room and accidentally end up inside Dr. Shinigami's room.
Yeah, so the Doctor has his own cabin on this boat.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Basically, imagine a typical episode of Scooby-Doo.
What happened to that sub that you guys had? What happened to all the boats and the helicopters? Did Shocker just be like, yeah, Doc, you know, all the stuff is in the shop. You're going to have to buy your own boat and your own boat ticket to get over there, because, you know, funds have just been really, really tight as of right now.
Yeah, apparently the tariffs have also been affecting travel.
You know, like, all these kaijin kind of take a lot of money to make, and that stupid grasshopper just keeps eating them up, and we have to make other ones to
Yeah,
replace them.
and Tachibana was too cheap to buy hygiene insurance for his coffee shop.
Yeah, so just to get here's a pass to get, not first class though, because those are private rooms that no one is allowed to go in. You get with the rest of the people, Mike. Yeah,
and you get a medial cabin, not a ladder one. So if you want a room with a view, suck it, Dr. Shinigami.
yeah, but yeah, because again, Ichimonji and Taki are just investigating, and apparently they suspect something, but they don't really find it. Only to be like, yeah, we're at the island now. All right. I know that Shocker's here somewhere.
Yeah, like even when the girls are like trying to bond, it's like I don't know if I can trust you. Well, you're Takashi's assistant. Think of me as Hayato's assistant.
Yeah, again, what is this whole bullshit? I'm like, oh well, I trust Takashi. I don't trust you, Hongo. You all are on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are going against the evil Nazi terrorist organization bent on world domination. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to be hating on your teammate. You're supposed to be hating on these lucha libre Nazis over here.
Yeah.
But again, that's just the logic these girls have, I guess. I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
if Mari was here, she'd be like, I don't have to take this.
Yeah,
if Mari was going for a walk. I'm going for a walk. And then freaking when she sees a bunch of Shocker soldiers in the hull of the ship, she would like break off a pipe inexplicably and use it as a rapier.
Yeah. But again, these girls get captured like flies flying into the zapper. So easily do they get captured.
Yeah, they even try to do like a what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Bait and switch, where Emmy tries to disguise herself as Yuri. And I'm like, you don't look like Yuri. You don't even look like Mari. Like, just because you're half Caucasian doesn't mean you look like our best girl. In fact, why are you even here? Yep. Steve? Steve, you good?
Yeah. I don't know what happened. It's the squirrels, damn it.
Those damn Nazi cyborg squirrels.
All right. Now, okay. So, put that on. Yay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Here comes Doggy Bana right here.
But yeah, no. Again, Takashi. Hongo said that he needed help because apparently this Yeti is so fucking powerful that he himself can't take it out. So that's when he meets up with Ichimonji, and the two just like two giant robots shaking hands in front of Mount Fuji. You see them just like, oh my god, and I bet you little kids were just freaking the hell out. Because they're like, oh, we get 2 riders? No way! Oh my god! Like, yeah. Enjoy it for this moment because afterwards we're not gonna have another moment.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's really great fan service for a minute, and yes, it's great that like, oh yeah, like they have 2 different costumes, so we know which one's which. But enjoy while it lasts because you won't see it for a while.
Yeah. No. But yeah, the 2 riders fight. And again, I did notice that it was a little bit of stiff fighting,
Yeah. Like when you look at Takashi Hongo in like the very first episode, it's like he's really wailing on those not luchadors.
Yeah. In this one, you can kind of tell because again, as we said, the actor was in an accident. So at this point, he was released and had gone through rehabilitation, but still, you're not really at 100% after that. So he's probably still recovering. That's why they did what they did with these episodes.
Yeah.
that we had the two riders fight, they had their battle, and then they just handshake, and then that's
All
it.
in a day.
All in a day, and then everyone gets back on the boat.
I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. Everybody look at me.
Back to Japan.
Yep.
Which you couldn't fly there? You didn't know that a boat ride from the Alps. Oh wait, I'm sorry, they're not at the Alps.
Yeah, from that other Japanese island, that's definitely not Hokkaido.
Yeah.
It's one of the other two islands.
Oh no, yeah, I'm getting confused here, but yeah, no. Are we at the next episode now?
Oh, Kyushu. Kyushu is where they went to.
Yeah, we're in Kyushu.
Yeah, Kyushu that was a really fun level on Okami. But yes, part 2. Part 2 of this 2-part episode. We actually have to meet up at Kyushu because that's where Dr. Shinigami plans on setting off his earthquake plan. So, of course, both riders head out there, but for some reason, so do the girls.
Okay.
Yeah, what? Why? I ask. Why?
Yeah. But hey, at least we got like a flashback where we get to see both riders together. But yes, we have a volcano monster for once.
How you are able to turn a human into a volcano, I never know. I mean, it's not the most ridiculous idea. It's not the worst suit I've seen. But I'm like, a volcano monster.
Well, they're all cyborgs. That's
I'm like, so does he have pulsing hot magma coming out from him?
very likely. I mean, remember from Sonic, he's like, behold, my burn button. What? Does he have a bunch of flamethrowers? No. Oh, so he shoots out like volatile acid. What? No. What does he do? He's got razor sharp claws.
Yeah, no. The one thing about this guy is that you're a volcano kaijin, but you don't spew magma. You don't have like the fire or even a flamethrower. You're just okay. I'm guessing we didn't have enough money in the budget to make him do that. No.
But we do have enough budget to bring back the condor monster that looks like an armadillo.
What? Why? We just kind of did because apparently something happened where everyone kind of gets put on a bus, but they leave 2 kids behind. And I'm like, okay. But it's apparently a shocker trap because they took everyone to go make them work in the mines to erupt the fault line, which I'm like, I'm not saying no, shocker, but I mean, do you really think a couple of tourists from some resort is going to be enough power to disturb the fault line? Maybe, I don't know, grab a nuke or a bomb or something? What about that explosive jet fuel that you guys confiscated? No? You're going to use a bunch of random tourists with picks and shovels to disrupt the fault line?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. It's a sound plan. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm like, the method of which you are doing it is not really cost effective.
Yeah.
How long is this going to take you to do? We got 20 minutes left. So hopefully we can do it in those 20 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
As Ron White once said, you can't cure stupid. And that's what happens when all these Nazis, when all these elites of Shocker just head into Japan for some reason. All right. You couldn't make a mole kaijin or something to start to like, do something? No. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, why not just make a drill monster?
Yeah.
Why not make an army of drill monsters?
No, you got a bunch of grunts. Why didn't you have them start it?
Like, how bad is your budget? Because, like, I know that, like, in Ninja Storm, the reason why they only send out only a monster a week is because Lothor was too cheap to pay for the premium subscription on his PAM.
Yeah. So again, not much budget. But yeah.
But to which I have to ask Lothor, like, sadly the actor passed away, so I can't actually ask him. Even like rhetorically as like a mock discussion. But it's like, how much of a price would you put on World Conquest?
Because technically everything would be yours at that point. So
yeah, it's like I would say $50 a month on a premium PAM subscription is kind of worth it when you could summon an entire army of giant monsters to destroy the Power Rangers.
Yeah, but again, the bad guys start off evil, but they end stupidly. I have no idea. That just happens to be the name of the game with these people.
See, like, at least the Zungyuk were actually smart, because in the beginning they sent out their entire armada.
Yeah.
In the first episode. Something I actually would have done if I was the villain. Something that took 199 Rangers to sacrifice their powers just to obliterate, and it's only the first wave.
It's crazy though. As much as people clown on Waltz Guild sama. What was the name? What was the name they gave him in America?
The character was so dumb. Varric.
Was it Varric? Because what did the name Brethren? What did they name him? I want to say it was Vakar. No. Either or. I'm like, despite how you want to.
There's Rack and wait, what's it Vakar? Hold on.
Despite what people want to say about the Prince Waltz Guild or Bossu, he was actually very smart.
Oh, Vakar, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I was right.
Because I know I interviewed him. Shameless plug.
Again, those guys possibly the smartest, despite what the reputation of Megaforce is. I'm like, they were very smart because they caused the fact that all the heroes will be destroyed. It was left defenseless.
Yeah, but you could just as easily say it was General Dharma's plan.
It could be, but again, that.
But he's gonna take the credit. Yeah.
Well, no, the fact I kind of feel like even then he was like he will take credit for it, but he was also like, strategically send these in. No, send everybody. That's what I would imagine Waltz Guild would have said.
Yeah,
don't send just a couple. Send them because he did. He
did. Freaking Kylo Ren, he's like, fire more!
Yeah.
More!
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But no, every bad guy just has to send one fucking monster at a time or have to get one congealed plan. And I'm like, it's a good plan, but you're going about it just the dumbest way possible.
Yeah.
Because even so, we get left with the two Kennys.
Yeah.
That are just, again, because we have both Hongo and Ichimonji, because we need apparently two kid best friends to focus on, because we can't focus on the two riders too much.
Mm-hmm.
And really nothing actually happens. Because, again, it's all about two best guy friends sticking together and fighting the odds. Why did we need these two kids?
For real.
Why did we need these two kids? You already have Ichimonji and Hongo.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's another one of those. We fight and we save everyone. Double rider kick time.
Mm-hmm.
The volcano kaijin really didn't even do much of anything. I'm like, he couldn't burrow underground. You couldn't erupt out of underground. Nothing. Just, flailing around. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
And then, again, this is why we said that it's kind of disappointing the fact that Takashi Hongo is in this episode, because as everyone is leaving, because they do save the day, he decides to go back to Europe.
Yeah, it's like I want to say goodbye to Taki and Tachibana, but it's going to make it more difficult to leave Japan. I'm like, why leave at all?
We already know that Shocker moved their base from Switzerland to come over here. So what's the point of going back to Europe if the Shocker brand is already here? Again, it's like, oh yeah, no, get everything. They don't just send the doctor. No, they move the entire fucking operation. So I'm like, yeah, why?
Why indeed? Why?
I guess it's just to cut the loose ends, I guess. But again, we all know that Hongo was still being in rehabilitation at this point. So he is able to walk and do all that stuff, but it's not his time yet to take the mantle. It's just to be like, hey, remember Takashi Hongo? Yeah.
Yeah, he's still
he'll be back.
He still exists.
He's still here. He's still here.
Yeah.
And but apparently Tachibana and everyone decides to take Emmy and what's her face.
Yeah. Like, isn't the whole point of them being around to begin with was because of, they were helpful to Takashi somehow? Yeah. That he kept them around. Because it's like, how many characters have been around for one episode and were useful, but they were only there for the one episode because they're only useful for that one episode?
Well,
like here, it's like
we promised you 3 girls in the Tachibana Motor Club, so we're giving you 3 girls.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're fine with Yuri. I think we're fine with her. And I am totally right, because now the next episode.
Oh yeah, there's also a subplot about Takashi being brainwashed. He has to fight Ichimonji, but it's like
it didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
And again, I was like, you're right, but it never really happened. It's because we're both grasshoppers, we both communicate telepathically because grasshoppers can do that. Is that how it works?
I mean, they can telepathically communicate through pheromones, but not like from a vacuum.
That's fine.
But there's like no medium for them to like Takashi's using the musk from his armpits and somehow that musk just like weaves its way through the Shocker laboratory like far enough for freaking Ichimonji to get a whiff of it.
I don't know. Again, really didn't make much point to even mention because it's not like it really affected the episode, honestly.
At least in the episode of Doctor Who, Curse of the Fatal Death with Rowan Atkinson, when they communicate through breaking of wind, it's still an auditory language. Granted, it's an auditory language you have to use with your butt, but like at least it makes sense, and like you have to like be in close proximity with the person you're communicating with.
I know.
But
yeah. No, see.
But hey, at least they do a reference to that in Kamen Rider W, sort of, kind of, not really.
But yeah, next episode, we're dealing with a fly, right?
Yep, a fly.
We're dealing with a fly.
And the A-plot is so strange too, because it's about some random guy who has nothing to do with Shocker, almost running Goro over.
But again, this guy's an asshole, like literal fucking asshole.
And it's not like Shocker's like, hey, this guy's an asshole. Maybe we could use him to become a Shocker.
They literally went the Rita Repulsa. I'm gonna like kidnap. But again, this is where I say that okay, Shocker. While I say this is a bullshit reason why you should get this guy, this could have been the reason why Rita should have gotten.
But that's just it. They didn't even get this guy. They got the fly monster to disguise itself as his mom.
Yeah, the thing is,
after freaking Hayato spends 10 minutes chasing after him by motorcycle, he just beats him up a little bit, and that's it. We don't really see the guy ever again.
Yeah, but what an asshole. Again, Goro and all his friends were crossing the street to go home, and again, I would imagine, oh, no, he didn't see him. He didn't. No. This asshole literally was trying to initial D the corner and was just again, you see Goro's friend just, again, hit by the car. I think he did get run over. I really do think so.
And Goro's friend just happens to have the last name Urameshi.
And, yeah, what does this asshole do? It's stupid kid should have watched where he was going. I'm like, you fucking ass. You totally ran the kid over, and you're telling the kid that it's his fault when all of them were obeying the Japanese laws of crossing the street, of raising your hand.
They did the Roman salute and everything, which contextually is it's just kids completely innocuously trying to make it very noticeable to oncoming drivers that, hey, there's a bunch of kids crossing the road, you can see their hands. It's not actually a Roman salute, but
the thing is,
out of context, so a person who doesn't understand what the kids are doing and why they're doing it, someone's gonna misconstrue. Oh my god, Chakra's taking over Japan. Just look at these kids doing the Roman salute.
I mean, the thing is that it's not really a thing nowadays. It used to be.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's still a thing. It's in Boom Boomers when they do their PSAs at the end of the episodes. The dude tell kids, hey, whenever you're crossing the road, keep your hand raised so that car can see you. I
get it. But at the same time, it's yeah, no, you're the asshole. You're a total dick. And I was actually I want to see Ichimonji just transform and rider kick the shit out of this car, legitimately.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently, asshole, they get stopped, they get their asses kicked, and then they apparently dickhead gets through a trap door. And we're made to believe that he became the fly monster.
But it's actually his mom.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
Weird. And they're you got 5 adults being hey, your son's an asshole. He ran people over, and the mom's he's my son would never do such a thing. He's a good boy.
I raised him right. Apparently you didn't. And looking at this house where they went to, I'm yeah, the total spoiled rich kid vibe. This guy does not give a rat's ass at all about anyone but himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Yeah, and the mom gives him tea, and only Tachibana and Yuri drink the tea. And you might notice that, 2 people are missing in this episode.
I noticed that, in these episodes more so, and then the ones to come, apparently Tachibana and company have a very horrible track record in these episodes of getting poisoned via food.
Yeah.
Apparently you didn't learn the first time around? No.
Yeah. So the mom's oh, please drink the coffee. It's oh yes, this is good quality coffee. This is very high quality coffee. Is this Ethiopian coffee? Why, yes, I got it from the Bedouins. That's odd. I don't know anyone who's met the Bedouins except for.
No, I know. It's yeah, they get drugged. I'm really? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes. Let us continue. Where were we?
Yeah. So the 2 guys now for some reason, Yuri and Tachibana are being mind controlled to attack Taki and Hayato. And again, it's like it's very noticeable that Taki is more of a star. Hey, little D's right there behind you. That's so cute.
Play. I'm doing my show.
They're gonna get you.
Okay. All right. I'm doing the show. All right. All right.
Yeah. You'll defeat those dragon keepers one of these days.
He's in love with that thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go squish it. Go squish it. But yeah. Okay. So again, this episode, while I would think it's a very entertaining episode for the fly aspect,
Yeah.
you know, it's not really, especially the fact that like they use that the fly uses a mechanical fly mechanism to do something.
Yeah. Yeah. And it spits out an acid that ends up killing two of its own mooks. So it's like, what are the mooks even doing here to begin with? It's like you're just getting in the way.
I don't know. I mean, what? I mean, a fly of all, well, whatever. You know, it's fine.
Yeah, but apparently the only cure to the fly's curse is by using smelling salts, because of course that is the cure for it.
Smelling salts.
Yeah. Yeah. But hey, on the upside, Goro's friend recovers, but then the fly dude just uses the mechanical fly to brainwash Emmy. So I'm like,
Yeah, Emmy.
oh yeah, both Emmy and Goro get brainwashed. But the thing is, it's like Goro I could forgive because he does have a track record of like helping out the team.
This is the first time
Goro's actually good at breaking and entering, and he's a master of disguise.
Yeah, and Goro, I think this is the first time he's ever been caught. So
Yeah.
you know, not too bad.
Yeah, well, this is the first time he was the victim of getting caught because he's been caught like maybe 3 times in the past, but all those times were intentionally because he was a decoy.
Yeah, so not really a horrible situation. Or not really bad in Goro's track record. I'm like, okay, fine. You know. But yeah.
Considering this is his first defeat, it's still pretty impressive he lasted this long. But Emmy, you haven't even proven any useful skills. Yeah, you're wearing a cute outfit, but like any character could do that.
Well, Emmy now has again fallen under the notion of being just a damsel in distress now, because for some reason, Shocker thinks that just getting her like drugged or getting her whatever is actually gonna accomplish something. Because I kind of like, okay, I kind of get the first time why you might have gone after her, but afterwards it's like, wait, why?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you even? I don't know. Like, why Emmy? Like, Tachibana's there, Yuri's there. Like,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it'd be more better someone that was really close instead of this random new girl they just got.
Yeah. And we do get a comic relief phone call scene where like Hayato's having this really long conversation with Taki, and like Goro and Emmy are just like waiting for an opportunity to stab him in the back, literally. And the way they get caught is like very comical.
Yeah, wearing the eyeliner and such, like they're evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're always facing away from him, so he doesn't even notice that.
But yeah.
So apparently Tachibana and Yuri are also brainwashed. So basically Mika is like the only one not brainwashed. But I'm like, okay, Mika, this is your chance. throw some playing cards at them, do something useful, but nope, she's just not doing anything. But see, here's why I would say Emmy is worse than Mika, because Mika doesn't do anything. Emmy actively goes against the team.
Yeah. No, good for you. Good for you. But Emmy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because again, this fly kaijin.
There's really nothing to say. I mean, we get a cool high-rise fight against the Mooks.
Yeah, not much.
Yeah, the fighting against the Mooks is pretty well done. You know, they go up a flight of stairs. They're up on a terrace. Like there's some falling off, some pushing off, some jumping off. But then once you get to the actual fight with the fly dude, it's like it's very unremarkable. And because he's green and there's a bunch of like flora around, it's like he doesn't stand out much. And again, main character's also green, so it's like, you know, good luck watching this while green blind.
No, I know.
And he does a simple corkscrew kick to finish him off, and that's it. Brainwash over, end of story.
Not even into the power lines. No, just a simple kick and he blows up. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, next episode. So far, Emmy does not have a good track record.
No, not one bit. We have literally reverted.
Yeah. It's like, even if you use the argument, well, didn't she disguise herself in that one episode? Yeah, but that's Goro's thing.
Yeah, but now we have it took me a minute because I had to go back and I had to read what I was reading because of the subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you know, you had a good plan with the fault lines and whatnot. Not so good with the kaijin. Maybe the snowman was impressive.
Yeah, so now we face the bird planet Dawn, and
this kaijin looks like we are talking about the mold kaijin, right?
No, we're not quite there yet.
No, not yet.
We're with the Birdman episode.
That's right, the Birdman. Yeah,
very forgettable. Like, honestly, only like 6 minutes of this episode is memorable, and that's towards the end for very specific. Well, let's just say the last 6 minutes of the episode feel like they were filmed by Jan de Bon, but at least the show would have been more fun if it was directed by Jan de Bon.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, we're having a picnic, and guess what? First thing that happens in the entire episode, Emmy gets kidnapped and brainwashed. Very first thing to happen, Emmy gets brainwashed.
That's the whole thing about this episode. Is that I'm like, wow, how uneventful. Because I was like, wait. You're right. There is a kaijin before the mold. And it's the What just happened to me like a couple minutes ago, that was more eventful than this episode.
Yeah. Like, okay, like honestly, the B plot is more interesting than the A plot, because what happens here is that while under brainwash, Emmy swaps out Hayato's camera with one of those assassin cameras, like from the Cold War, where like when you press the capture button, like it fires a tiny bullet. You know, it's a classic, you know, KGB type of thing. It's like okay, this is kind of interesting. And like, oh yeah, like Hayato accidentally almost assassinates a scientist and gets framed for it. It's like, okay, you know, this kind of calls back to that one episode where Taki ends up in prison. But the thing is, Taki's not the one in prison, which means he can use his FBI connections to get Hayato out that much more quickly.
But this is the episode where Taki got brainwashed, wasn't it?
Yeah, he did get brainwashed later in the episode.
Yeah, because I'm just like, oh my god, Taki's packing heat.
Yeah, like Emmy tricks Taki into being in an isolated location so that he could also be brainwashed. And yeah, Emmy tries to like pull a gun up on Hayato while pretending to be sick, but he beats her very quickly. Let's be completely honest. And I'm gonna be honest, no amount of panty shots is gonna be like make me like this character because again, Mari, she did a lot to prove herself in her first episode. This girl's just here just to be here. Meanwhile, like, yes, Taki is about to shoot a cardboard cutout of
The Kamen Rider.
Of the Kamen Rider, but then like he turns his AK towards Dr. Shinigami, who for some reason is in a wheelchair. But then it's like, oh no, I'm gonna use my Sonic Birdman frequency to like torture you until like you turn that gun back onto that cardboard cutout.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So basically, Taki's forced to like try to assassinate the scientist again. But like, oh yeah, there's like a neurotransmitter that they find on Emmy's unconscious body. So they probably think that that neurotransmitter might be affecting Taki as well. And they figure out, oh yeah, no, like the dude, like they're gonna try to get Taki to assassinate the scientist. Look, man, like since we already have the clip from the IP, let's go to the earlier film. No. Must kill the queen. Must kill the queen. Must kill the queen.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Enrico Palazzo saved the Queen Elizabeth. Enrico Palazzo.
That's the whole thing with this episode that I kind of didn't get. You know, I'm like, wait, so what exactly are you trying to do? What exactly are you trying to... I mean, it's something that if you had made Taki the bad guy and like, oh yeah, you know, he's just a mind control gaijin, but no, because afterwards they kind of just snap him out of it. Yeah. That's what I kind of said.
What the hell was that?
The episode really didn't really fixate on me because I'm like, the only thing that was interesting, like you guys can mind control Taki for like a minute.
Yeah, and like, yeah, we got a bit of suspense with like Hayato trying to like intercept him before it's too late, and he does. But then once we get to the actual Birdman fight, much like the previous episode, he just rolls down a hill and then tiny explosion. Not even a big one, just tiny.
Yeah, no, I'm like, no. This episode had to have been like just the most random, the most like, what the F in terms of plot, in terms of suits, in terms of just in general, like what the fuckery of like, this is the plan.
Yeah.
This is
but
the
hey,
plan.
At least the scientist's son got a model rocket as an apology letter.
That is true. That is true. The kid did walk away with a pretty sweet model rocket. So, you know, Gundam was not a thing yet. It wouldn't be for another...
Not until 79.
Yeah, not for another 2 more years. Of course, Gunpla didn't happen until like the 80s. So, yeah. Anyway, next episode.
Now we get
to the rejected Mortal Kombat ninja.
Yeah, so this is the one where, okay, I'm just gonna say this right here. The mushroom monster, that was actually not a bad idea. Using a fungus to destroy Japan. So let's revisit that by making a mold monster.
What kind of mold? We don't know.
This doesn't matter. Mold. Look, it's a fungus, you know. Like 50 years later, people will play a video game about this. And then 10 years after that, HBO will make a TV show based on that video game.
Yeah. But again, we have it's a very good question. How do you personify mold? How do you do that?
Green, great big globs of green,
Like, just take the Mortal Kombat costume and spray paint it with green fuzz.
Yeah, pretty much.
But like, no joke. Did that not? Like, wait, that's Silex. That's Cyrax. It's one of the cyber ninjas.
Yeah,
But he's got like green mold on him. I'm like,
yeah. I feel like Cyrax and Sector are kind of based off of his helmet design.
Yeah. I'm like, I wonder if someone from Midway saw this episode.
Yeah, high key, this should be an MK character. Like, imagine making an actual MK character that uses corrosive mold.
I mean, they've had how many ninjas and how many like discolorations? I'm like, why not? Like, why not? Seriously, why not?
Just make a green clone of Cyrax, Sector, and Smoke.
Yeah, no, because that's the thing. I was like, but I mean, the fact that this thing kind of like just throw fuzzy green like fuzz at people.
Yeah, and then they instantly corrode.
They instantly mold up. I'm like, now you know what French bread feels like after a day.
Yeah, and then like two girls who are twins happen to witness this, and they get captured almost immediately. It's like destroy them. No witnesses. Wait, actually, hold up. I could use this. How?
Like, it's one thing if you were going to, like, I don't know, create some mold zombies and have these little girls be like patient zero and go around and infecting everyone. But no.
Which is what I was thinking. Like, that would be a smart way to use these two girls. But like, how many times has leaving a person alive to do like as a supplementary evil scheme backfire on Shocker? It's like don't double down. Just grab what poker chips you won already, cash them out, and get the hell out of Dodge. But no, it wouldn't be.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I don't know.
It's for me too.
I have no idea. Like, why? Yeah, you can.
Yeah, what's funny is having finally finished reading Series of Unfortunate Events, I just started watching the show on Netflix, and then the judge offhandedly mentions, I have books from Italian cuisine to the world's deadliest fungi. I'm like, oh my god, that's a reference to the 11th book.
Yeah.
See, I would not be able to get that reference if I didn't actually read all 13 books ahead of time. I hope you like wasabi.
I know.
No, that's towards it all.
No, not right now.
No, that's towards it all.
But yeah, no.
No, that's for the.
What else happened?
So basically, the diabolical plan to use these twins is basically, I'm going to keep one hostage while the other one is hypnotized into well, Dr. Shinigami, we're waiting. Hold on, I'm gonna get to that. Look, I'll explain it later. Just like, let's have a clip with Mika because we haven't seen her in a minute.
Yeah, no, the thing is with these girls, I'm like, they're twins, and I know that the rate for Japan, it's very rare that they have twins. Very, very rare. So whenever they do,
statistically, globally, triplets are more common than twins.
Yeah, so I'm like, especially but fraternal twins, I think, is the proper, like with our identical twins.
Yeah. So basically, fraternal is when you have two seeds fertilize two eggs, but identical twins is when you have one seed fertilize one egg, but then that one fertilized egg splits into two separate fertilized eggs, and then they just separately like divide into an organism that are genetically identical.
Yeah. So I mean, it is a thing, but no. But yeah, no. Really, again, not much to go because they don't really go on the aspect of the twins. You know, maybe if they were together, that some reaction would happen that would cause like a mold infestation.
Remember Cyborg 009 when they introduced 0010 plus and 10 minus?
Yeah, no. If they were apart,
same author.
Yeah. Well, again, don't make me a villain because this is just my thing. Yeah. Again, not much to go on this because why did you need to capture the little girls anyway?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. I mean, you could have gotten rid of them. You could have, but you can't kill kids in these shows. You just can't.
Yeah, but basically, we're trying to use the dead bodies of people to make more mold, and then spread that mold.
Adults are fair game. It's the children you can't touch.
Yeah. Also, one thing you're gonna notice in these last two episodes is Kamen Rider does a lot of sword fighting, like a lot of sword fighting.
Yeah. No,
I'm not complaining, but given a conversation we're gonna have in 43 years.
Money.
Oh, by the way, one thing we did not mention about this batch of episodes is that these are the first 6 episodes in the year 1972.
A whole year has gone by.
Literally, episode 40 aired on January 1st.
So we're now in the new year.
Yeah.
No,
1972.
No.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, so Japan did the whole New Year's break thing just like they do now, even back then. That's cool. I did not know that. Because like you might notice that present day, like on the weekend between Christmas and New Year, there aren't any new episodes. They take a break.
Yeah.
Apparently, they did that back then.
Yeah, no, they did. They totally did because I was like, wait, Happy New Year. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Original air date of episode 40 was January 1st, 1972.
Okay. So it's been an entire year.
Yeah. Whoa! 9 months. Because remember, April 3rd was when the first episode aired.
Yeah. But yeah, the mold kaijin. Again, kind of
we get a cool sword fight.
We do. But again, not the most memorable. Even his death was kind of mediocre.
Tachibana Club almost dies because they eat some moldy snacks.
Again,
have you guys learned nothing from the cacti?
No, absolutely not. Well, no, the cacti, they didn't eat it. They kind of just displayed it. But it's like, you guys not, again, Uber Eats and delivery wasn't really a thing back then. If you wanted something, you had to go get it yourself.
Yeah.
It was takeout, but you had to go get it. But yeah, you didn't notice that the cakes and the snacks had tranquilizer in them?
Mm-hmm. Until later. And then they almost died from mold.
Like, oh, tranquilizer. Really?
But apparently, the only way to cure the mold is by you pouring oil on it. Somehow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he douses, in the graveyard, he douses the mold man in oil and then kicks him, and somehow that causes him to combust.
Yeah.
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 I'm like, geez. Since when was Hayato in the Mafia?
I don't know. Beats me. Not too crazy if he was or wasn't.
Yeah. We're almost done here. Oh, yeah. We rescued the twins and,
We had a
know.
hard time identifying who they were.
Yeah. That's the joke.
Yeah, that's just a joke. Like, no, that's her. Do we really care?
I'm George and he's Fred. Seriously, Mom.
Will anyone remember this episode? Probably not.
I mean, I'll remember this episode more than the previous one.
Yeah. So now
or the next one, for that matter.
This is Slugzilla.
Yeah. So a scientist creates the world's smallest computer brain. I'm like, oh, so the whole AI craze happened even 55 years ago.
So you're telling me that most supercomputers that were like built underneath oceans that self-destruct because dad decided not to raise his son properly, or that house in underground bunkers is unnecessary? You created an entire supercomputer that could be on a small table with a whopping 32 bits of RAM.
And apparently it's so powerful that if you implant it into a rabbit, the rabbit will understand human speech.
As impressive as that is,
why are you leaving it unguarded?
Why are you just leaving it? I know you had infrared sensors and all that stuff, but still, because and I'm guessing like this was news that was put out because in this episode we have two bumbling idiots trying to steal the brain to sell to foreign countries. Like, how would you even go about that?
They make 2 attempts.
How would you even go about that?
And look, like the Slugzilla, like at least he has an impressive plan. He could flatten his entire body so the sensors don't read him, at least until he stands up. For some reason, the sensors still don't go off. But
it's comedical because here you have an actual kaijin that can and is properly built to successfully pull the job off. It's quite impressive.
Yeah.
But you have these two idiots that keep like, then why not Docker? Why don't you just kill them? And
because
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you,
we don't care.
Because if they cared, they would have done so earlier.
Yeah, no, I'm like watching this episode. I was like, again, it's one thing when you try to like put the comedy in there with random characters. It's another that I'm like, okay, the only reason why Shocker's plans are not working is because of two random idiots. Which I'm like,
and what's funny is that this will become a thing in Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
Except technically, Jay and Silent Bob did not screw up the diamond heist. If anything, they were trying to prevent it from failing because they warned Ollie Larder's character, hey, movie burgers make you fart really loud, and they didn't listen. So when freaking Ollie Larder's character does that epic wall run across that laser grid, all of a sudden and triggers the audio sensors.
Yeah.
Oh, bleep! That stoner was right.
Yeah, but sadly we didn't have that with these two.
Yeah.
Because I mean it does.
So let the record show, Jay and Silent Bob are more competent as unintentional jewel thieves than Shocker is at being intentional thieves.
Well, no, I mean the thing is that the slug kaijin actually does work in this. It actually does. It's just that these two knuckleheads just like, it's like, do you guys have this timed or something? It's like, like you guys show up the exact same time Shocker's here. And I'm like, Shocker, why? I mean, you're a terrorist organization. Why don't you just go in there and get it?
It'd be really funny if these two guys, their sons, would grow up to be the two robbers from the first two episodes of Kamen Rider O's. Like, remember how in Kamen Rider O's you had those two robbers disguised as security guards that caused
those two idiots that woke up the greed?
Yeah. Like, how funny would be if they were the sons of these two idiots?
I don't know, because sometimes I was looking at these two idiots and I kept thinking to myself, cue the Bulk and Skull music. Really?
Yeah, I was thinking Bulk and Spike, but like,
well, either or, the music still fits. I'm like, you could have just been like Bulk and Skull's music right there. Yeah. And it's like, it's just, again, even the Slug Kaijin was kind of getting pissed off at them. Like, then kill them. Why are you not? Why are you?
Even the Shocker soldiers are having a hard time catching these two.
Yeah, why don't you just shoot them or do something? Why are you just letting them go? You said no witnesses, and yet you let witnesses go.
It's like watching a Soviet comedy from 1973.
It's just like, oh God, I mean, even so, I was like, you know what? It's not the Kamen Rider that's going to beat the Slugzilla. It's going to be these idiots. Like, apparently, like they have like some table salt and just spray it on the slug.
Accidentally.
That would have been just like, yeah, that would have been the best if that was like, but no, we get the same old Rider kick and, the slug blows up and, these guys.
They try to brainwash the scientist's daughter, but you know how this is going to play out.
Yeah.
But hey, at least you have a little child trying to kill the Kamen Riders.
That is true. That is
like a nice change of pace,
They also, did the whole, I'm drawing a blank now.
Yeah, and they try to implant the computer into Slugzilla for some reason. I don't know why.
Why would you? I mean, what's that gonna accomplish? He's already. I mean, I would say Slugzilla.
He's already supposed to be super intelligent. Like he's supposed to already have like human intelligence.
Not give it to Grand Leader. No, you're gonna put it in the Slug.
Like maybe make some primitive Shocker monsters. Like by like cloning some fossils.
You're not gonna.
And then use the. Hey, you know what? That brain could have worked on that mummy from a few episodes ago so that it could understand and speak Japanese.
Yeah. Well, yeah, regardless, no. The Riders just beat it up and that's it.
Yeah, yeah. We have this giant construction that's very spherical. I'm like, okay, that's a nice set piece to do a stunt sequence, but it does look a little silly when you're running down a spiral flight of stairs.
Yeah.
Like you could easily jump off of it. You're a cyborg, but
yeah, no, I know.
I mean, Taki gets some cool moments in, so yeah, like good job, Taki,
That's our boy Taki, but
yeah,
again, these episodes.
Yeah, it's like he Kamen Rider just judo flips it. Doesn't even like punch it or kick it. He just judo flips it, but somehow leaves a much bigger explosion than the Birdman.
I don't know. Maybe they put too much kerosene in the cannon today, because that was a pretty big explosion. I know this was at night, but goddamn, you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's it.
That's it.
That's it for these 5 episodes. I mean, 6.
See,
I'm
like they're so forgettable that like you don't even remember how many episodes there are.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, it was great to see Hongo and have that whole team up, but like we said in the beginning, it was just so lackluster and unforgettable because
these two episodes were the only two that mattered. Sure, the mold monster was menacing because again, we have a fungus-based villain. But
again, it's like the Mushroom Man was more well thought out and more well planned than the mold.
Yeah, plus spores are less conspicuous than mold.
Yeah, no, I know. But again, if I were to just to give these all rated, I would say probably like they all get like at least like a 5. It was entertaining to see Hongo again and to see them team up, obviously. But then everything after that just was like, sure, fine. Not even a laugh or even like a slight of chuckling in these episodes, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, again, we're making a spotlight for Emmy and oh god, what's her face?
Mika.
That it's like okay, Yuri's here and Yuri has top billing, but you're not giving anything to Yuri. Yeah. It's just like, yeah,
she's been there since episode 14. Put some respect on her.
Yeah. So again, I'm like, yeah, these two I'm not really liking too much. I'm not trying. I don't dislike them. I'm just kind of like, why?
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's like the first two episodes, you know, I give them a 9 and an 8 because it's like, yeah, it's cool to see the two of them team up and actually interact because we've never seen the two of them on screen together before, like even as like face actors. But like we are introduced to these two new characters and we're not given much of a reason to care for them. And Hongo still leaves for like no explainable reason.
It's because he just can't yet.
Yeah.
I mean, and I get it, but I mean, then why hype it up that he's coming back?
Yeah. Why not wait until episode 52?
Yeah, he won't come back yet. I think we still have another 10 episodes before he officially comes back.
Yeah, like even in Power Rangers, like in White Light Part 1, it's like, hey guys, I just got a message from Tommy on Facebook and he'll be coming back at the end of the week. Yeah,
at least we got a timeline. Now it's like, oh yeah, we're just kind of
gonna show him up and then make him disappear for a couple of episodes. We're coming back permanently.
Like, all right, fine.
But then it's like, but again, it's like if we've had one-off characters in the past that were really useful, but they only stayed for the one episode, which means that if a character is going to stay permanently, they have to really bring something to the table, which Goro, Yuri, Mari, and even Michi did something useful that kept them in the show. Shiro was just there till episode 15. Like, he was really useless, but like, hey, you know, Shiro was kind of there because someone's got to watch Tachibana's Snack Amigo shop. Don't know why they got rid of him, but then like, so like to have Mika and Emmy as permanent cast members, that means they have to really bring something to the table to the same level as Mari, Yuri, and Michi. But in these 6 episodes, Mika did not do anything to the point that like you forget she's even there. But that is being optimistic as opposed to Emmy, who has more of a presence, but in the worst way possible. You know,
Yeah.
it's like think of it this way: when you're a teacher, like who are the students that you remember the quickest? The ones that actively answer all the questions, and the ones that cause the most trouble. Like the B minus kids are probably the ones that take you the longest to remember to even exist. And it's not their fault. It's just they don't stand out as being like these excellent students, nor do they stand out to be these troublemakers that you have to keep an eye on. And again, I'm not hating on these kids. You know, it's like, you know, like ideally you should remember all of your kids. But I'm just saying, which are the kids that would be the hardest for you to memorize? The ones that stand out the least. Which ones stand out the least?
I get it. But
yeah, it's like.
No.
But Emmy, it's like every episode she's in, she gets brainwashed and actively fights against the writers, which is worse than doing nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, you purposely get caught only to be the infected patient zero. And for them to like save you. Which I'm like, why even at this point, you know?
Yeah, so for episodes 42 and 43, I have to give them a 5. You're not wrong there. Episode 44, I have to give it a 7 just because the mold thing is interesting. It is a creative plan. You should just use it a little bit better. But then 45, we drop back to a 6 just because it's like Shocker's effectively being hindered by Bulk and Skull wannabes.
Yeah, no. I know.
Yeah, so not a good intro to these two new characters. So I'm gonna need Hiroshi-sama to like really explain to me why these two tagged along. Forget the Dear John letter. I don't care, but like I need to know why are these two characters even here? Just as quickly, let's be honest, Mika's gonna disappear just as quickly as she showed up. And Emmy will kind of disappear later on, but unfortunately, we're stuck with her for a minute.
We'll be counting down the days.
Yeah.
But
literally, next week, we're going to be saying goodbye to Mika.
Next week. What?
Yep. Episode 52. Episode 52 is her last episode.
Wow. That's how quick we do this.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, like freaking Michi, she had 9 episodes. Full range, 9 episodes. Mika had just about as many.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So don't get too attached, folks.
So 7 episodes, guys. You have 7 episodes to give us a lasting impression of Mika. Let's find out next week if they'll follow through.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
Well, what do the people have to say?
Okay. Triple OXYZ says the pink moon was really cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
The pink part was barely noticeable, to be honest. But maybe it's because I live in the city. Trading up Mari for Emmy feels like such an L trade. It really was.
You really feel it. You really do. You're just like, oh, God, really? I didn't want to say it, but I'm like, yeah, it is true.
I would go so far as to say that Emmy is a hard regression.
Like I said, we took 3 steps forward with the girls, only to go like 5 steps
7 steps back.
Yeah, we're like, what exactly? I mean, again, I get what you're trying to do in terms of story and plot wise, but come now, really? And also the fact that Tachibana and Yuri were also getting thrown in there. I'm like, these are people that kick ass in the field. And yet they're falling under that same trope. It must be the writers. It must be, because what the hell happened?
Yeah. Mari is a plus because she actually helps. Shiro and Ruriko are a 0 because they do nothing. But Emi's a minus because she actively ends up going against the characters.
Well,
Yeah,
there's nothing. I mean, you kind of nailed it right there.
Yeah.
Because again, it's like, again, we're not supposed to focus on the side characters, but we do because they're also part of the show. It's
And
just
also, the main writer barely shows up in his own show.
and then we got to
So
deal with
we need to focus on the side characters. So at least make the side characters good.
Yeah, no, it's just so weird with Emmy. It really is, and I assume she's a sweet girl. I try, but it's like compared to what we had to now. I know it's apples and oranges, but still, you cannot compare the two. We literally regressed. We really did. And that was also kind of painful watching these episodes because it's just like I know that Mari was kind of an airhead, but she at least got stuff done.
Yeah. It's like if Goro threw a stick at her, she will take out like 15 shocker troops.
But Amy and Mika, nothing.
And again, Mika, she just does nothing. Emmy actively goes against our heroes.
Yeah, just nothing. So, damn.
Yeah, no amount of leather boots will fix that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Like freaking with Gaku Sano is a fantastic actor, but if for whatever reason he was removed from the show, you have no shortage of fantastic supporting characters to keep the show going.
Yeah, no, but again, this is probably
here. It's like
this is the character study course right here of what you should do with with supporting cast and what you should not do with supporting cast.
Yeah. Like Mari's what you should do. Emmy's what you shouldn't do.
Yeah, whoever okayed this character type for this character really needs to like have their writing credentials like reanalyzed because
this is why I was not. This is one of the reasons why I was not looking forward to doing the original Kamen Rider because aside from the episode count, it's like when Takashi comes back in episode 40, not 42, in episode 40, we're going to be introduced to these two characters, and I'm not looking forward to these two characters.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon. Stay notified for our latest videos. We do Classic Ultraman on Mondays, Kamen Rider Gav on Wednesdays, #1 Sentai Go Jujer on Thursdays, and then we finish off the week on Sunday with the original Kamen Rider. And next week, we will be finishing the second arc.
And it falls on Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens. We will see what will fall in this arc on the day that he has risen again.
By which we mean Takashi Hongo, because he makes his true return.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Also, check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show. And if you want to follow our personal content, where can the people find you?
Just on IG. Thank you so much to everyone. Some of you have asked and just wanted to confirm I will be attending Level Up in Las Vegas in 2 weeks.
Nice.
So in case there are a couple of you, if you want to meet up, if you want to, please, I will let you know next Sunday what's going on with that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how we're going to work it out, but we'll work something out.
Oh, by the way, some news involving some mutual acquaintances of ours. They are making a new album.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yep.
That's right. They are making
Yep.
a new album.
They're making a new album. Yeah.
Mhm.
And yeah, the two of us will be there to, try to get the first copies as soon as we can and discuss maybe like on the Buttery show, maybe. But yes, and you can follow me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to stay safe, stay hydrated, update your emergency kits, enjoy your Passover, your Easter, your Ramadan. I don't know when most of these holidays start and end, but generally these are the three major holidays during the spring season. And yeah, have a great week. We'll see you again tomorrow with Ultraman and so on and so forth. Have a good one. Bye.
Good night, guys.